Have you ever, like, been out trying to get that perfect shot? Maybe something funny your pet's doing, or just a quick video for your followers, and then you look back and it's just completely shaky, like you filmed it during an earthquake. Or, you feel like you need a whole tripod just for a quick clip. It's always that trade-off, isn't it? Spontaneity versus actually looking good. Well, and today we're doing a deep dive into something that might just fix that. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's this compact camera that's making some serious waves, especially for video stuff. We've been digging into a bunch of reviews, expert takes, product info, trying to figure out why everyone's talking about it. So our mission really is to pull out the key stuff from all that. We want to help you figure out if this little gadget, this vlogger's companion, actually delivers, and maybe more importantly, how it makes getting that really smooth, professional-looking footage, well, simpler.
Yeah, exactly. And what's really striking about the Pocket 3 when you look at the sources is how it zeroes in on those really common headaches for creators. It's not just a list of specs, It's this blend, power, but it fits in your pocket and it's
Yeah.
genuinely easy to use. The idea is to let you focus on like the story, not fight the gear.
Okay, right. Let's get into that. The absolute core thing, it seems, from everything we've read, is the stabilization. They all talk about this combo, a big sensor camera and a 3-axis gimbal, supposedly makes video incredibly smooth, super stable, zero hassle. So for someone like me, constantly ending up with shaky phone stuff, what's it actually like to shoot with this? Does it really mean no more tripods, or is there, a catch to that tripod quality idea?
That's a great question, actually, because the experience is pretty different. It really does deliver that level of stabilization basically in your hand. That 3-axis gimbal is the key. Think of it like a tiny smart stabilizer that's constantly working against your hand movements up, down, side to side, rotational. So you can walk, you could even run, film out of a moving car. And the footage just stays incredibly level. It's the kind of smoothness that, yeah, used to need much bigger, heavier, and frankly more expensive gear. Now it's tiny.
Okay, yeah, the perfect stability, that sounds like a game changer. And you mentioned a large sensor as well. Why is that such a big deal? I saw Type 1 sensor mentioned in some reviews. What does that actually mean for, the average person filming, especially if it's not super bright out?
Right, precisely. That large Type 1 sensor is absolutely critical for the image quality side of things. So Type 1, just for context, it's a technical term, but basically it means the sensor is significantly bigger than what you usually get in a phone or even a lot of action cams. And that bigger size, it just physically gathers way more light, which directly translates to, well, cleaner video, more detail, especially in dimmer situations where those smaller sensors start showing a lot of noise, that grainy look. And there's another benefit too. That larger sensor helps create a softer background, that slightly blurry look behind you when you're vlogging. It gives things a more kind of professional, almost cinematic feel like you might get from bigger cameras, but without needing different lenses or messing with complicated settings.
Okay. That's definitely a big plus, getting that popular background blur without extra gear. But let me ask this for someone thinking about this. How does that sensor, even a Type 1, really stack up against, say, a proper mirrorless camera with a big sensor when you want really shallow depth of field, that super blurry background? Is there a trade-off people need to know about there? Or is the Pocket 3 genuinely competitive for its size?
That's a totally fair point. And, well, you're right. While the Type 1 sensor is fantastic for its size and a huge leap over phones, it's not going to give you that extreme background separation you could get from, say, a full-frame camera with a really fast lens, like an f1.4 or something. But, for a device this small and at this price point, it strikes a really impressive balance. It gives you a very pleasing background blur, definitely enough for most vlogging, most social media content. The key thing here is really the accessibility of that look. You get something quite cinematic without the cost, the bulk, or the complexity of a whole interchangeable lens camera setup.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. It's about balancing portability and performance. Okay, so beyond the stabilization and the low-light stuff, the sources also really hammer home its versatility. They mention things like 10-bit 4K at 60 frames per second standard, HDR HLG, or D-Log-M color profiles. For listeners maybe not super deep in video tech, what does 10-bit or D-Log-M actually mean for the video they end up with?
Excellent question. So when you hear 10-bit, think colors, lots and lots of colors. It means the camera is capturing literally billions of color shades compared to millions in standard 8-bit video, which is what most phones used to do. What that gives you is huge flexibility when you edit, when you do color grading. You can push the colors around, get really polished cinematic looks without the image starting to fall apart or look weird. And things like HDR, HLG, or D-Log-M, those are special recording modes, often called log profiles. Essentially, they capture a much wider range of brightness, more detail, and the really bright parts and the really dark parts of your shot all at once. So for creators, that means the raw footage looks maybe a bit flat, but it contains tons of information. It gives you powerful options to really shape the final look, make it super vibrant or moody or whatever style you want after you filmed it.
Okay, so it's really about giving you more creative control after shooting. Got it.
Yeah.
But here's something else that seemed, well, really clever for anyone making content for different places. It also does 3K vertical video, also at 60 frames per second, specifically for social media. And apparently switching between normal wide video and vertical, you just twist the screen sideways. That just sounds incredibly simple.
Oh, absolutely. That simple screen twist, combined with the fact it uses a sensor that's kind of square-ish, it fundamentally changes the workflow. Think about the time saved. No more awkward cropping of your main horizontal video to fit Instagram Reels, losing part of the shot, or even worse, having to film everything twice, once sideways, once upright for TikTok. It's not just a neat feature. It directly attacks that bottleneck, that whole reformatting nightmare that so many creators deal with constantly. It basically frees up potentially hours that they can spend actually thinking about ideas or, telling the story instead of messing around in editing software just to fit different platforms. It lets them deliver everywhere without compromising the shot.
It really does sound like they thought about the whole process for someone creating on the move.
Yeah.
And beyond the video specs, the reviews also consistently mention really good battery life and that it handles heat well, so it could record long clips without shutting down from overheating, which can be an issue sometimes. Plus, built-in support for wireless mics, USB-C charging. Seems pretty comprehensive. So with all of this packed in, what does it all add up to? Like, who is this camera really the perfect fit for?
Well, if you sort of connect all those dots, the Pocket 3 really emerges as the camera to grab if you primarily shoot handheld. And you absolutely crave that smooth tripod-like stability, but you don't want the hassle of gimbals or stabilizers or even changing lenses. Our sources pretty much explicitly say this is the camera to get if you're a vlogger who wants to work handheld, capturing life or whatever your content is, just out and about. And you can genuinely just get the basic version and start vlogging straight away, which is fantastic, especially for beginners.
Yeah, that easy start is definitely appealing. But I saw there's also a creator combo package.
Yeah.
What's actually in that? And who should consider spending the extra for it?
Right, the creator combo. It costs a bit more, obviously, but it really does flesh out the system for someone who's maybe a bit more serious or needs more flexibility. It usually includes things like an extra battery grip for much longer shooting times. There's a wide-angle lens attachment that's great for getting wider shots or fitting more people into a selfie vlog. You also get a little mini tripod, which is handy for quick static shots. A high-quality wireless microphone, crucial for getting good audio, which is just as important as video. And usually a carrying case to keep it all together. So yeah, that combo really makes it a very complete, very versatile package for, more advanced creators who want an all-in-one solution for pretty much any situation they might run into.
Okay, it sounds like it gets an awful lot right. I mean, it's won an Editor's Choice Award specifically for vloggers in one review we saw. So
Yeah.
are there any downsides, any catches we should mention? Or is it basically like the perfect little vlogging machine?
Well, it is extremely capable, especially for its size and purpose. But the sources do highlight a couple of things to bear in mind. First, it's not built tough like an action camera. It's not ruggedized or weatherproof, so, you need to be a bit careful with it. Dropping it or taking it out in heavy rain probably isn't a good idea. If you're planning like extreme sports filming or adventures in really harsh weather, you might need something designed for that, or at least get some extra protection for it. And second, yes, it does cost more than the previous version, the Pocket 2. That's a factor. However, when you put that price against something like, say, the Sony ZV-E1, which is a fantastic camera, but it's full frame and significantly more expensive, the Pocket 3 starts to look like a really compelling, much more affordable way to get genuinely high-quality, stabilized vlogging footage. So the price increase feels kind of justified by the features you get.
Okay, right. So just to kind of wrap up our deep dive here, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 really seems to shine because of its almost uncanny ability to record that super steady, tripod-smooth video just by holding it. Plus, it's surprisingly good performance when the light isn't great, thanks to that bigger sensor. And maybe crucially, that incredible flexibility for making both normal widescreen and vertical video super easily for whatever platform you use. It really feels like a tool designed to just get out of your way.
Exactly. And connecting that to this sort of bigger picture of creating content today,
Yeah.
it's actually fascinating how this device offers a solution to that feeling of being overwhelmed, not just by information, but by gear. It lets creators really focus on their ideas, their message, their creativity, instead of, fighting with complicated setups or fixing shapy shots or spending ages just reformatting things. It kind of democratizes creating video that actually looks professional,
Yeah.
makes it much more accessible.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, hopefully this deep dive gives you a shortcut, a way to understand this pretty powerful tool that could genuinely make creating great-looking, stable video a whole lot easier. Just imagine, what kinds of stories you could tell or content you could create if those technical hurdles, getting smooth shots, making it look good, were just significantly lower. If you had that smooth, high-quality footage literally in your hand, it does make you wonder, doesn't it, how tools like this, like the Osmo Pocket 3, might really shape what personal content creation looks like in the future, making really high-quality video something absolutely anyone can achieve.